Biggs and Rich Campbell at Soldier Field after the Bears' 21-13 victory over the Buccaneers. Their second straight win, Rich, moves them to 5-6. Once again, they got off to a very poor start, trailed 10-0, spotted the opponent 10 points, which happened last week against the Vikings. They dig out of the hole with a really good defensive performance. Ironic that Lovie Smith is in the house, and they have 4 takeaways for the first time since week 2, and a season-high 5 sacks against Josh McCown.
Yeah, not exactly the offensive performance that you think is going to indicate a turnaround coming against the Lions on Thanksgiving Day, but it's a win the Bears had to have, and they responded well at halftime with some fight after a punchless, listless first half where you really questioned if the season was going to end here today at Soldier Field. You had a lot of young players on defense making an impact. Guys like David Bass, second-year defensive end with a forced fumble. Rookie Christian Jones with the recovery. The Bears' offense took advantage.
Yeah, the Bears got a couple short fields to set up 2 touchdowns for Matt Forte. They took over on the Bucs 15 and on the Bucs 13-yard line, which they had to have. They barely had 200 yards offense today against a Bucs defense that's been better the last month or so, but statistically Tampa is near the bottom in most categories.
Yeah, 3.6 yards per play is not the standard this offense set last year. That number overall would rank among the worst in the league if you extrapolated it for a whole season. Just not a good performance today in some bad conditions, but you saw drops by receivers, penalties across the board. Again, Brandon Marshall started the game with a false start on the second play from scrimmage, turned it into an unmanageable situation, 3 and out. That type of thing has happened way too much this year, and it's caught up with the Bears. They were able to overcome it today against a bad
Bucs
team.
and now they're 5-6, which I don't know how many people expected them to get to that after the consecutive games in which they allowed 50 plus points. So they've got an opportunity Thursday at Detroit to claw their way back to 500. If they could beat the Lions, and they certainly have the talent to do it, they'd be within a game of Detroit with 4 games to play.
And as we saw from those games last year, both losses on the Bears side, they lost the line of scrimmage. And so they're going to have to do a much better job up front. Tampa Bay's defensive line today did a great job getting into the backfield, disrupting Jay Cutler. Bears are going to have to be better up front on Thursday in order to get to that 500 mark.
Yeah, but listen, it wasn't pretty here, particularly in the first half. They got the job done. They got what they needed, which was a win. The way this season's gone for this team, they can't be too picky here. We'll see what is in store later this week. Stay with us at ChicagoTribune.com.